It's speciesism.
Mind blown! What is this? You've got to be joking.
Hey everyone!
Hey everyone, welcome back to another mukbang video.
An eating show. So
What's
you
the
must
pause?
have food.
What's the pause?
I don't know.
Eating show.
Eating show. It's Korean for eating show. Pause the video, go and grab yourself some food, come back and eat with us.
Things aren't coming out right because we're hangry. Are we hangry? They like it when we're hangry.
It's happened again.
Yes, they're hangry.
It's been 4 hours and 10 minutes since we finished breakfast.
Are you counting? Are you serious?
I am.
You are, aren't you?
Yeah. So.
Sometimes he looks at the sun and can tell the time. I'm just saying.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You're a bit weird like that, aren't you?
Oh, I'm just in touch with it. What can I say?
No, you're just weird.
Yeah, it could be weird. What are you guys eating? Let us know in the comments below. Inspire other people with your delicious vegan food.
All right, we're ready.
What have we got today? We
This
have
is
got
like-
a mainly whole foods bonanza. Now, bonanza is a very Australian word. I don't know whether it's used
Bonanza?
elsewhere in the world. Let us know if it
I
is.
thought it was American. Don't they do?
Oh yeah,
Isn't
yeah.
it horse riding or something? I don't know.
I should have
Cut
looked into
that.
that before I said, yeah, cut.
It's just fantastic.
All right, what do we got here? We've got some red and brown rice, which is a good source of iron and zinc. We've got some beetroot and corn, which are good sources of folate. Some baby spinach and sweet potato, good sources of vitamin A. Broccoli, vitamin K. Tempeh, protein. Chickpeas and black beans, protein and iron. Pumpkin seeds, magnesium, and sunflower seeds, vitamin E. There you go, I got through all that pretty good.
Come on, I'm being silly. Keep going. It's fun. Look at these colours.
I know.
Isn't it beautiful?
Dressing over here, which is separated, has tahini, which is a good source of calcium, lemon, which is a good source of vitamin C, which helps with iron absorption and is full of antioxidants, some tamari, maple syrup, and cayenne pepper. There we go.
Are we done?
We're done.
Can we eat?
We can eat. So it's going to be nutritious and delicious.
I think you need a little spoon to stir that.
Well, I've got a big spoon.
That's not going to work.
What's the difference between a big spoon and a little spoon?
Big
if it
spoon
fits
in a little
the
cup. Hold on,
little
let him
cup?
see. Let him see. Big spoon in a little cup.
Yeah, but look, it's worked.
You
It's
can't
mixed
get
together.
to the...
Oh, I know what you're saying. Yeah, the little bits at the bottom. No, I can do that. All right, here you go. You go first.
No, you go first.
You go first.
Oh. All right, what are we complaining about today? Because people like it when we whine. So what are we whining about? I tell you what, I'm stressed.
What are you stressed about?
I'm stressed about everything today. I'm stressed about making this video.
Why?
I'll tell you why in a minute. I'm hangry. My hair wouldn't do
The
what I
longer you
wanted
take
it to do.
to stir the dressing,
Well, that's
the longer
because
it's
you
going
don't
to
have
take
a
to
small
eat.
spoon. See, it's clumping.
Clumping is fine. Is clumping fine? Look, it's not ideal.
No. Then one person gets a big heap of tahini and the other person doesn't.
That's kind of true, actually.
Get a small spoon.
No, come on, let's go.
You've almost lost your voice.
Yeah,
because there
last
was
night we were
protest.
protesting at the use of deer in the Brisbane Council Christmas stable rubbish with Santa, yeah. Anyway, they're using deer as slaves, transporting them all over town, chaining them up.
So people can take their photos with deer.
Yeah.
Now hold on, where are you
It's
pouring
a petty-
this?
everywhere.
Everywhere?
Yeah. So anyway, we were chanting
Deer
various
don't
chants.
belong here. Shame on you. Shame on you.
Yeah, all that type of thing. I've forgotten now. I mean, how do you chant certain chants hundreds of times and then forget what they are? I think it's because I'm hangry. Anyway,
So I don't know.
so yeah, that's the story behind my voice. That's probably about half. Yeah, I mean,
Oh,
you
no.
have another one. Have another
No,
one.
you have another
Do
one.
it. Have another one. Have another
Yours
one.
is bigger than mine.
Just have one
I
more.
don't want more. How come you're having corn? You never have corn.
Because for the colours.
Ah, it's pretty. It's pretty.
What was I going to say?
Did I?
Yeah, you killed my train of thought with the deer.
Ah.
Damn. What was I going to say?
And by the way, can I take over?
Yeah,
Because you can't remember.
yeah.
When people say like, "Oh, she's so mean and she micromanages his food," this is banter. This is what keeps us going for almost 21 years.
Oh yeah.
Look at that.
No, that'll finish it real quick smart.
This is us, all right. This is just us.
You should have the rest of that.
Why? That's code for you might not like it and you'll complain, so it needs more dressing. See how well I know him?
Mixing.
Get your mixes and mixing.
Mixing.
That's Bonanza. I think that's
Is
the
it?
Bonanza song. Bonanza.
If it's to do with
rolling.
animal exploitation, we're not going to
I
talk
know,
about
we're not
it,
talking
remember?
about it, but is that the song? Rolling, rolling, rolling.
Actually, I say that, and yet we're going to talk about animal exploitation this whole video
It's
long,
very
aren't
fitting.
we? All right, let's get some food.
Now, because I'm a kind wife, is it good? Oh my gosh. Let me just say, tahini and broccoli all over the lips. Oh yeah, give him a close-up of that. No, don't do it. It's so bad. Look at corners. Because I'm a kind wife, I'm going to give you the tahini spoon with extra flavour.
Ooh.
Sound like
Thank
a
you.
little ape. Life flooding black.
Very good. Black or black? What do you say?
Whatever, you know what I said. Anyway.
So yeah, some people who've never watched a mukbang. I remember what I was going to say.
Oh,
Yes.
here we go. 10 hours
This
later.
is mukbang number 50.
Oh wow!
Woohoo! That was,
Oh,
look
what
at
was
Look at the
that?
rest.
What was that?
I think it's because of the size difference of the hands. Anyway, and it was side on, so there we go. There we go.
I didn't know you were going for the clasp. I thought it was just the high five.
Yeah, look, okay.
Okay, so what are we doing? What are we doing?
Just a high five. All right. 21 years almost, we've worked out how to do a high five on the
I
side.
don't know how we get through
No.
every day.
Mukbang 50, not bad,
That's amazing.
huh? We
Thank
started
you.
these about 2.5 years ago. Yeah.
Thank you everybody for watching, for eating with us, for whining with us,
For putting up with our
antics. And,
antics. Good word.
what else do we do? What do we call it?
Banter. Yeah.
Thanks for laughing with us.
And if you've not
Maybe you're
watched
crying. I don't know.
any of them before, we're going to link the mukbang playlist below. 50 there to knock your socks off, knock yourself out.
What if you weren't wearing socks? I'm not wearing socks.
There you go.
Why did I even do that?
I don't know.
Over my bulb, just to
I don't
prove
know,
that I'm
because
not
it was
wearing
mukbang
socks. That's so
number 50.
weird.
So anyway, people who've never watched a mukbang eating show before, they're like, oh, you shouldn't talk and eat at the same time. Well, that's what we all do, doesn't it? Isn't it? When we sit down together, we talk and we eat. And I think I mean talk with food in your mouth. But
It's impossible.
can you imagine if we had to not talk while we eat all of that? It's just not going to happen. And we can't coordinate. I take a bite, you talk, you vice versa.
That's not going to work.
That's not going to happen. So
Mouthful of food spilling everywhere,
Yeah.
crumbs in the corners of our mouths.
you know what to
especially like
expect.
that. By the way, my hand is still ringing. That was such a hard high five after 5 times. Can you feel it?
Yeah.
It hurts.
Sorry.
Keep it better. All right, a few bites before we get into this.
This is good, huh?
It's lovely. I have a complaint to make to the chef.
Oh, here we go. Be grateful you have food.
I was just going to
nutritious and
say,
delicious.
I'm very, very grateful for this meal and it's delicious. Thank you, Chef Luca. You're amazing.
You're going to talk about the potatoes, aren't you?
I'm just going to say that I don't like skin on the potatoes. Why did you do that?
It's nutritious.
I don't know how can.
Eat it. It's good.
Do
Good
people
source of
with-
fibre. I mean,
I know.
not that there's not plenty of fibre in this bowl already.
Serious?
But
This is like horse fibre. I'm just saying it's thicker. Beetroot juice.
all right.
Okay.
What are we talking about today?
I'm just going to start by saying I hate making these videos. This one I'm stressed. Not mukbangs, we like mukbangs. These responses. Guys, when you asked us to respond to, hold on, where's my notes? Mouse, keyboard, laptop in front of us with many, many notes today, so we're going to be looking down a lot. Okay, today we're responding to the channel Moon and Rock. They have 58,000 subscribers here on YouTube.
And you guys, we don't watch them, but you guys let us know that you wanted us to respond to them. So
And we got so many requests. And at the start, I was like going back to people saying, we're not watching it, we're not watching it. The reason is, this is so bad for our mental health. Like, we can't take this. We can deal with meat eaters, with carnists, with industry trolls. We can deal with all of that. I have no problem being told, go kill yourself, I hate you, blah, 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 blah.
you know, I hope you get hit by a car and end up like the vegetables that you eat. No
Yeah.
problem. No
Totally
problem.
fine. When we hear stories, videos coming out from people that were eating a plant-based diet and go back to eating animals, that's when we're just like, we can't deal with it because these people should know better. And we
because
don't.
it undermines all of the work that us as vegan activists and other
Yeah.
vegan activists all around the world are doing to advance veganism and animal rights, it's like
one step forward, 2 steps back.
Exactly.
Or whatever, right? And so we don't watch them, and we kept saying to people, this is bad for our mental health. We can't take this. But we got so many requests, and then we're like, oh, the animals need our voice, the animals need, another side to the story. So
that's who we do it for. We speak for the victims.
And I just...
Because we would want to be spoken for if we were in the victim's position, as would anyone.
So, that's what we're doing today. Long list to get through.
Because I was thinking, the way we treat animals as humans, it reminds me of the times of the gladiators with the emperor, doing this.
Yeah, we decide who wins and who dies.
Put out a video saying I'm going vegan, animals live. Put out a vegan video saying I'm going back to eating animals, animals die. I mean, what is that?
Yeah.
What if we were treated the way we treat non-human animals?
So bad.
We wouldn't like it.
It's so bad, guys.
Yeah.
It's so bad. How are you going?
Good. How are you going?
Good.
Enjoying
you
it?
give me more rice than you. You've already eaten it.
Here's the thing. I like more beans.
Oh.
You like more rice.
I was going to say. I've got heaps here. Okay. If you want any, I'll share with you.
You can give me anything you don't want. That's fine.
Cool. You probably won't get anything then. Super yummy. Alright. Let's do this.
Alright. So Moon and Rock, Megan and Evan, they have been eating a mainly raw or a high raw food plant-based diet for some period of time.
Yeah. Evan for about 10 years, Megan for I think 5 years. They've just had a baby and now they are going back to eating meat, dairy in the form of ghee and eggs. So
Megan had a plant-based pregnancy where she had some eggs and ghee during the pregnancy and she craved animal products.
Now they're going back. You can't read my notes, can you?
Yeah. No, I just was going to say the craving animal products, more so craving calories, but we'll talk about that later. Now they're going back to eating organ meats, eggs, ghee, sardines.
And it's all under the guise of being local, grass-fed and organic.
Which we'll talk about more in a moment.
Okay, so...
for the last year or so, it hasn't been working for them, the plant-based diet. And
we're just summarising their video, right?
That's
so
right.
Just condensing. This is the backstory. So they've been eating animal products for about the last 3 months and miraculously they feel so much better. Evan is talking about his brain health has improved and Megan also feels better. She was saying like she had digestive problems and stomach pain in the past. And this is an afterthought that we're just inserting in. There are many, many things that can affect one's digestion. I know for me, for example, when we were doing fasting and restricting our calories and colon cleansing, my digestion after that was absolutely horrific. Even though we're eating vegan, we're eating plants, I had terrible digestion. So those things that I did to my body affected my digestion. I had great digestion before then. So it's not just what we're eating, it's everything else that we may be doing that is going to affect us. So they feel feeling better after 3 months of including more animal products.
they also say plant-based diet is not for everyone, everybody is different, which we're going to talk more about as well. But we're going to talk about that here.
Okay, well let's address that.
Okay.
So this whole thing of, everybody's different. So they're not saying that a vegan diet is bad and nobody should do it. They're saying
it works for some and not for others.
Yeah, it didn't work for them. And it may work for them short term or at the beginning, but over a long time, they just found that it didn't work, especially the last year.
Yeah. Now I'm going to start off by saying they're right in that not everybody's the same in a certain context. And that specific context is, for example, you prefer rice to beans because you find you digest rice better than you do beans.
That's right.
Okay. You enjoy corn. I enjoy it, but I find I don't digest it quite as well as you, so I tend to choose other foods instead. Those differences, yes, 100% in terms of how we each respectively digest a particular plant food, for example. But where we're all the same is that we are all anatomically, physiologically, and biochemically herbivores. Okay? We might behave like omnivores, where we include animal products in our diets, but again, anatomically, physiologically, and biochemically, we're all herbivores. We're going to link a heap of resources in the description below this video. We encourage everyone to please watch those. I just want to start off by saying there are many, many reasons why, but the one that comes to mind first and foremost is that our leading cause of death as a species is heart disease. And yet, heart disease is only a disease experienced by herbivores. No omnivore develops heart disease. For example, you can feed a dog, which is anatomically, physiologically, biochemically a omnivore, unlimited amounts of animal products, and they will never develop atherosclerosis, aka heart disease. And yet it's our leading cause of death as a species. So the science is telling us that we are herbivores. So that's not up for debate.
Can I also throw in that we are not doctors, obviously. We follow the science. So we are listing all the things that we are going to talk about today in the description box. All we're doing is vocalizing the science. This is not our opinion.
Exactly.
This is science.
That's right. What I just spoke about comes from W.C. Roberts, the world's foremost renowned cardiologist, an author of over a dozen textbooks on cardiology, has published over 1,300 scientific papers on cardiology.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're talking about the world's leading cardiologist saying what I just said about omnivores and herbivores.
Also, what we eat, what we do consistently for many years is follow the science. Okay, this is what we do ourselves. This is what we encourage our followers to do. This is what in our ebooks. We are simply following the science.
And it's freely available.
Yeah.
You just have to go to commercial-free websites like nutritionfacts.org, for example, or PCRM, the Physicians Committee for Responsible Medicine. You can see the best available balance of scientific evidence on those websites. Educate yourself. Learn why we're herbivores. Learn why whole plant foods are the optimal foods for human health.
Yeah. So we've been eating this way for, we've been vegan 7.5 years.
And eating this way for just over 3 years.
Yeah. Okay, so
Maybe.
just want to get that out there from the beginning. Are we good? Cool? Got it? Good. Okay. So Evan claims...
Look,
noticeable.
I was going to say,
Yeah.
and the problem when people think that everybody's different, and when they say that, they're talking anatomically, physiologically, biochemically, animals die. And they don't die of natural causes, they are murdered, they are brutally murdered, and they don't want to die. So this is life and death for the animals, and it's also life and death for us.
That's right.
If we're consuming products which are scientifically linked to our leading cause of death, heart disease,
We're hurting each ourselves.
So see how dangerous
It's very, very dangerous.
this message
it's not
of
a game.
everybody's different is?
Yeah.
It's probably one of the most, if not the most dangerous messages on the planet in terms of the number of people. 17.5 million people die of heart disease every single year. And it is a preventable foodborne illness that need never occur, and if it does, it need never progress. Because a whole foods plant-based diet that's low in fat is the only diet to have ever been clinically proven to reverse our number one killer, heart disease. I get worked up about this because you've got 17.5 million people's lives at stake every year, and not to mention 60 billion land animals and 2.7 trillion marine animals.
Every time we try and justify eating animals by saying everyone's different and this is just me, throats are slit.
Yeah,
Throats are slit.
and heart attacks are had.
We send innocent babies, these are babies we're killing, into a slaughterhouse, and out come pieces of flesh, neatly packaged in a store.
That we've convinced ourselves that we need. When,
See how far we've gone, we haven't even started yet. Okay, let's stick to the script because this is going to go
a
on
horse
forever.
doesn't get pregnant and think, okay, I don't eat grass anymore. Or the other horse says, I'm going to eat burgers while you eat grass over there.
I know.
Why do we think we're different? Because industry has told us that we're different.
I know. Eat your beans. Okay.
Okay, sorry. We get very passionate about this because lives are at stake.
Okay. So Evan claims that he has been a responsible vegan over the years, he's done the right thing, he's eaten the right diet, and yet he still is having these problems. And so we were getting messages from people asking, why does this keep happening? Why do so many people on YouTube have been coming out recently saying, I'm no longer vegan, I had health problems. Why is this happening? As we said, we don't follow Evan and Megan, so we don't want to sit there and like watch so many of their vegan videos from years ago to try and work out what's been going on and piece together the puzzle. What we thought we'd do is just go straight to the comments, because their followers, their viewers are going to know their history. So there was a consistent theme in the comments, and we've taken a whole heap, but I want to read this one in particular, which really gives us an insight.
We could have read any one of tens of comments that were similar in nature, couldn't we?
We could.
I finished watching hours later and I could not believe the shock of plastic-wrapped slaughtered animals included at the end. This is what happens on extreme vegan starvation diets. One can survive healthily as a vegan, but not on blenders full of food, magic mushrooms, and starvation diets. Constant fasting, one meal a day, eating powders and potions instead of whole plant foods, etc., are all forms of eating disorders. Most vegans who resume consumption of slaughtered animals, often, though not always, are folks who became vegan because it was a fad and/or they were battling eating disorders. If one does not open their eyes to the pain and suffering of slaughtered animals, it is much easier to abandon veganism.
It says everything. So that gives us a very good insight into what was going on. And as we said, there were so many other comments saying the fasting, the water fasting, the juicing, the 1 meal a day, the calorie restriction, eating disorder, blah, 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 blah. It goes on and on. Of course, this is all going to have an impact, and this is a consistent theme. This was the same thing, a very similar thing that happened with Tim Shieff not long ago. We made a response to him as well. You know, he started to incorporate some eggs and salmon because he wasn't feeling good in his body. Well, what did he do? He's starving himself. He's doing this, he's doing that. It's a consistent theme. And so it's not the vegan diet. It's what these people are doing around eating plant-based that is causing the problem. And speaking of Tim Shieff, I mean, I could not believe that I saw this comment.
Gobsmacked.
He left a comment on their video. Way to speak your truth, guys, with hearts. And it's like, Tim, did you not just learn anything from all the responses that you got from people recently when you came out and said you ate animal products? And then, you know, it was a big mistake and everything, blah, blah, blah. And now you're applauding other people making videos like this and going back to eating animals? Way to speak your truth? This isn't about... I don't even have the words to describe how disgusted I am. And he's still got a bloody vegan t-shirt on in his avatar. Are you serious? You don't applaud people who go back to eating animals?
The truth of the matter is that innocent, defenseless animals are needlessly going to have their throats slit, more so now after the likes of Tim's video, Moon and Rock's video, and the torrent of others along the same line.
As we've said before, it gives a green light to people who are kind of, just unsure, don't have the ethics down pat.
They don't have the nutrition education.
It's just a nightmare. Yeah, so all of these things that these people are doing in terms of the fasting and the cleansing and whatever.
The calorie restriction.
1 meal a day, come on. What did you say? It was 4 hours and 10 minutes to our next meal? And we're like, come on, let's eat again. Right? So all of this can lead to nutritional deficiencies over time. Absolutely. If you're not putting enough in, that's what's going to happen.
You know, nutrition is a combination of quality of calories and quantity of calories. So for example, you could be eating the most nutrient-dense foods, similar to the ones we're eating now, but if we weren't eating enough calories from those nutrient-dense foods, we could still end up with nutritional deficiencies over time.
Yeah.
Likewise, we could have a bowl this big which has abundant calories for our energy requirements, but if it's not nutrient-dense food, then we could also end up with nutritional deficiencies over time.
So, what we find is people complicate it. We need to stop complicating things. It's not as hard as you think. You don't need
potions
powders and
potions
potions
and tinctures and elixirs. You just need to eat whole plant foods, and it's not our opinion. This is what the best available balance of scientific evidence is telling us.
Whole grains.
Fruit, vegetables, whole grains, legumes, nuts and seeds. You know?
In enough calories.
That's
you
right.
Just do that in enough
in
calories.
enough variety.
And this is what we've been showing you guys in our videos, in our mukbangs mostly, in our recipe videos, our daily posts on Instagram. What else? In our ebooks. Our recipe books, our health and lifestyle guide. This is what we've been showing for years. It's so easy. So stop complicating it and thinking that it's something like more than it needs to be. It needs to be some.
People can't believe that it could be that simple.
It's that simple.
It's the KISS principle. Keep it simple, stupid. And I include, when I say stupid, I'm not being derogatory or demeaning to anyone. I'm referring to, there was a time when we thought it was more complicated than it actually is.
We used to do this. We've done fasting, we've done cleansing, colon cleansing, we've done high raw, we've done high fat, we've done all that.
Calorie restriction.
And the only time, I've said it again, only time as a vegan that I craved meat was when I was starving myself. Okay?
Because
it's
your
not rocket science.
brain is hardwired to survive, to continue, your survival and the survival of our species. So it's going to seek out calorie-dense foods, which is why Megan was craving the likes of eggs and fish and meats and what have you, because they're calorie-dense foods. It's not those specific products or the nutrients in those products, it's the calories in those products.
And the reason why people feel better when they start eating animal products is because animal products are more calorically dense compared to plant foods. So they're just getting more calories.
Energy, more calories. Calories are units of energy. So you're going to feel better if you've got more energy. If you've been restricting your calories through eating one meal a day, water fasting, juice fasting, etc.
You just, of course your brain's not going to feel like it's functioning well and properly and not sharp. You're not eating enough. Simple. And then you can eat anything after that point and you're going to feel better. All of these people that go back to eating animal foods when they feel better, they never say what they were lacking, what they thought they were lacking on a plant-based diet that all of a sudden they can get from animal products. Because there's nothing that you have in animal products that you can't get from plants. It's simply a matter of calories, right?
And if you have specific nutrition questions, such as, where do I get B12 from, for example, we're going to link some resources in the description below so you can research and educate yourself.
Okay, so all of this is happening under the guise of local, grass-fed and organic.
Oh, this is one of our pet peeves.
This is really
local,
bad.
organic, grass-fed, these are labels used by the industry to get us to feel good about our bad habits. That is, paying others to needlessly slit the throats of innocent, defenseless animals who don't want to die. Now, local, what does that mean when the United Nations has said that animal agriculture is responsible for more greenhouse gas emissions than the entire transport sector combined? You can see how the act of purchasing animal products is worse than how far away the farm was, for example.
It just means the violence is closer to you.
Exactly.
That's what it means.
Yeah. Grass-fed. Now, if you've watched the documentary film Cowspiracy, which is on Netflix, you'll learn that grass-fed animal products are actually worse for the environment than factory-farmed animal products. The reason being is that it takes the animals longer to reach market weight eating grass than it does when they're fed grain. So they're alive for longer, therefore they emit more greenhouse gas emissions, therefore it's worse for the environment. And organic simply means...
Hold on, but also for that one, they have to clear more land for grazing.
That's right.
So more deforestation is caused.
And already around something like 45% of land is used for animal agriculture already. So, where are we going to live? And then in terms of organic, all that relates to is that the feed that the animals received during their short lives wasn't sprayed with pesticides. Other than that, it means nothing to the animals.
None of this means anything to the animals because they all end up the same place. This is the thing. This is the humane myth. All of these animals, no matter what farms they come from, end up in a slaughterhouse. It's a house of slaughter. They have their throats slit, they have their head chopped off, they're scared, they don't want to go in, their life is taken.
Nothing humane happens behind those walls. Nothing.
Just think about it.
If we wouldn't want it done to us, or our loved ones, or our family cats and dogs, how could it ever be humane?
Okay, so then, at one part of their video, things get really...
Woo-woo.
Woo-woo. That's a good word. We're going to watch this clip and,
I feel grateful for the rhythms and the cycles of Mother Earth, and I feel really connected to the earth in ways that I didn't think that I would when starting eating animal products, because spiritually I thought that veganism was the ideal, but my experience now is the opposite of that. I feel really connected to how our ancestry has nourished themselves and kept our race of humans going for millions of years.
So many things
What
to
do you
respond
even
to.
say? I mean, what?
So many things to respond to.
Wow.
How's the Wi-Fi in your cave?
Well, hold on, we've got a comment to read from Wi-Fi in the cave. Okay, so let's just rewind here.
I'm going to link a video below showing fossilized feces found during the Paleolithic period that indicated that our ancestors were eating in excess of 100 grams of fibre a day. Now that's impossible on anything other than a plant-based diet.
I'm so stuck for words here. And I just want to also say here that we used to move in spiritual circles a lot. I mean, we used to live in...
Spiritual. I have to do this spiritual because...
How do you take someone's life and talk about love and spirituality and connection and Mother Earth and all that stuff while you're slitting throats, you're murdering needlessly? I'm
innocent,
so
defenseless
angry.
animals. Needlessly, because there's nothing nutritionally that we can't get from the plant kingdom or a supplement in the case of B12.
It's such BS.
Which we used
is.
to get naturally, but we can't for reasons that I'll link in the description below.
So we used to move in these circles. We used to live in a community that was all exactly like the kind of stuff they were talking about, all right? The whole... everything.
My body needs, I feel nourished,
connected to Mother Earth,
label-free,
all
non-judgmental.
of it. We were the only vegans there, the only ones with any ethics, the only ones that actually practiced what everybody else was preaching. And we left because we're like, I can't take this insanity. It is insanity. We cannot kill and speak about peace. We cannot take life and speak about love. Be kind, be this, non-judgmental, blah, 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 blah. Our actions speak louder than our words. This is insane. This is
Our violent
Orwellian.
actions speak louder than our peaceful words. It's by Dr. Will Tuttle, author of The World Peace Diet. If you want a book on spirituality and veganism, I recommend everybody read that one. The World Peace Diet, Eating for Spiritual Health and Social Harmony. We'll link it in the description below.
And that is the only spiritual book you need to give you... to bring veganism into context of spirituality, and the rest is just...
The rest is actually just ego.
It really is.
I've never seen, moving in those circles, living in those circles, I saw so much egocentricity and anthropocentricity. If that's a word.
Yeah. It's
Speciesism as well.
It's speciesism. I mean, and it's actually put me off my food. I can't eat when I'm so upset. So, yeah, just a lot of... grateful for the rhythms and the cycles of Mother Earth.
You mean getting into your car and driving to the fancy elite meat store?
Well, that's the thing. I mean,
that's been processed in a slaughterhouse. You know, animals were transported on trucks, killed against their will, all on a production line. I mean,
there's nothing.
You put out your credit
natural
card
about
that's
this.
made of plastic. If Megan had gone out and she'd hunted with her own claws and these massive canines and tore into the hide of a animal and ate all of the everything, just like an actual omnivore or carnivore does, then maybe, okay, I'd accept I feel more connected to Mother Earth. But outside of those...
She's talking about circle of life stuff. That's what she's getting at without saying it. Circle, they give their life and I'm going to put it back to the earth and blah, blah, blah.
They
no
don't
one gave
give their life.
That was brutally murdered.
Their life is taken from them, stolen from them brutally.
I want to read a comment from a viewer of theirs that sums this up beautifully. Actually, you're going to read it.
Okay.
By the way, I don't think that was beetroot. I think you cut yourself shaving.
Oh, okay.
And I've irritated it and now you're bleeding.
Oh, yeah, that was a cut there.
Can I give you a kiss? It's all better. It's like, I don't like you, woman.
All right. Eating disorders, water fasting, and eating one meal a day all create deficiencies over time, not a healthy plant-based vegan diet. Add in a child to the mix of gradual undereating over time, and it's no wonder you went back to dense calorie sources of epinephrine or adrenaline from dead animal flesh. No, wait, grass-fed, free-range, organic meat. Got to include those labels so you can feel better about your choices. Don't go talking all woo-woo about Mother Earth and our ancestors though. If you want to live like your ancestors, then turn off the camera, don't use Wi-Fi, and go skin the animal you consume. You claim that you only had a healthy vegan pregnancy because of your meat reserves. Wow. If veganism truly worked so well for you in the past, prior to your under-eating, then how can people trust your new claims of feeling amazing on this new diet you've only been on for 3 months based off of one friend's experience? I know you two mean well, but there's too much justification going on along with uncomfortable body language. I see more confusion than confidence.
I feel like that sums it up really well. I like that response. So then...
The most disturbing part of their video? This was very disturbing.
Wow. Only a short clip, it's like under 6 seconds. This is right at the end. They've gone shopping, they're showing all their plant foods, and then... Don't let it fool you. They're showing the meat case. They're showing a morgue. There are chopped up body parts in that fridge. Right, like...
And the irony of the lyrics.
Oh my God.
The lyrics at that overlaid to that footage say, "Don't let it fool you." Now, ironically, Megan and Evan have been fooled by the humane lie or the humane myth perpetuated by the animal products industry in order to make people feel good about their bad habits. That's the irony in that.
I know, but what we felt they were doing there with that song is saying, don't let the vegan propaganda, if you like, fool you. There's another way. You know, vegan is not the sole thing.
And they say, make sure that you source your food in the most conscious way you're able. Now, the most conscious way you're able to source your food is from a fully informed position. Now, if you have internet access to watch Megan and Evan's video, then you also have that same internet access to fully inform yourself as to the ethical, environmental and health implications of eating animal products. You can visit nutritionfacts.org, pcrm.org, you can watch Cowspiracy and What the Health on Netflix, as well as Forks Over Knives. You can watch Earthlings online, you know, it's all there. It's all there. That's how you make the most conscious decisions regarding food choices that you possibly can.
And if you
it's
notice,
not rocket science.
If you notice in the freezer, they had lamb. Lamb is baby. And mind you, the chicken and the beef, those animals, the cows and the chickens, they're killed when they're still relatively young. Most of them are still babies anyway. So we're killing babies. We're eating babies' bodies.
Yeah, you're talking 6 weeks old for a chicken, or 18 months old for a cow.
And a lamb is under
12 months, 6 to 12 months.
So they're babies. How can you consciously take a baby's life? And how ironic that they're holding a baby in their arms. They're holding their newborn, telling others to choose consciously when you choose your baby victims of another species.
It's speciesism.
Mind blown. What is this? You've got to be joking.
And for Megan and Evan's viewers who have probably never heard the term speciesism before, or anyone else who hasn't for that matter, I think it's worthwhile just, explaining what it is. So speciesism is where we believe that human animals are superior to non-human animals, and therefore that entitles us to use them in any way we choose. And it also extends to, we believe that certain non-human animals like cats and dogs are superior to other non-human animals like cows, pigs, chickens, ducks, turkeys, fish, sheep, etc. So that's speciesism, and it's a form
Depending on what culture you live in.
Exactly.
Right?
Dogs are eaten in some parts of Korea and China.
Cows are worshipped in some parts of the world, like India.
Exactly. So it's completely arbitrary, like you said, along cultural lines, and it's a form of discrimination no dissimilar to racism, sexism, heterosexism, classism, ableism, all of the isms. Okay. And in fact, it's the root form of discrimination of all of them, because how can, if we don't teach a child to discriminate based on, fins, feathers, etc., well, they're not going to grow up to discriminate amongst human beings based on colour of skin, ethnicity, etc.
And that was what was, I think, really disturbing for us to see. Okay, they're a new family, they've just had a baby, I think she's like a month old or something. And this is the next generation we're talking about. This is another human, part of the next generation, that is now being raised with a speciesist mindset. This child is now learning and is going to see her parents and be part of this this dining experience of eating animals. So this child is going to be told that it's okay to eat these certain animals as long as they don't come from those bad factory farms. The ones that you see out here running around in the grass, they're okay. And we're going to give thanks for them, and we're going to feel really connected because we're going to give gratitude, and it's all about love and all the rest of that woo-woo stuff. And so this child is going to think, oh, it's okay, I have dominion over certain animals as long as it's done in a certain way, and I'm going to be able to justify it. And so this is how we have 10,000 years of herding animal culture. Not hurting, but herding animals for food.
And speaking of dominion, Evan and Megan referred to their journeys. You know, we're on our journeys.
Oh
Now, do you think in your respective
journeys
journeys of 10 years, Evan, and 5 years, Megan, on a plant-based diet and lifestyle, that journey may have included watching documentaries like Earthlings, Land of Hope and Glory and Dominion? Because if you had, you would have learned that the labels of free-range, organic, antibiotic-free, hormone-free, etc. mean next to nothing to animals. And what about your journeys including some research on nutrition? You know, even if you'd gone to the Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics, which is the US's largest organization of food and nutrition professionals, you would have learned that they have a peer-reviewed position statement stating that an appropriately planned vegan diet is adequate for all life stages, including pregnancy. So these are the things that over journeys of 5 and 10 years respectively, you think you would have learned. Yeah.
Now, some great information. A new program has been put online.
Oh, yeah.
It's called the Vegan Pregnancy Guide. It's by Dr. Neil Barnard.
Of the Physicians Committee for Responsible Medicine, an organisation that's been around since 1984 and 1985.
And the other doctor is a mother of two, Dr. Gemma Newman, UK-based medical professional, mother of 2 vegan children. So they have a wealth of experience and knowledge. They have a great program online that can help people. Here are some screenshots. I'll link it down below. Everything you need. Again, follow the science, follow the professionals. Get help if you're struggling. Don't go from one extreme to the other. From one extreme of doing all this stuff to your raw food diet or whatever you're doing.
Calorie restriction, colon cleansing, water fasting, juice fasting, all these extreme measures.
To going back to eating animal products. Get help. There's a middle point. This what we're showing you is the middle point. It's the healthy, sustainable, science-backed middle point. Oh, okay.
I think we might. Oh, there's more?
There's more. We got
There's
more.
more.
We had so much to say about this.
Oh, wow.
How much more do you want to talk about?
We've done that.
I want to say here.
Oh, the slippery slope.
Yeah, slippery slope. So what happens is, and someone sent this a message about what's her name? Kalal. So we made a response video to Kalal recently. We'll link that down below. She went back to eating animal products, and then she showed in a recent vlog that she was out and she was eating eggs, and she included that in her vlog. Now, the whole thing was with Kalal, she was saying she was eating, you know, pasture-raised eggs or whatever. It was supposed to be high welfare, and I do this because there's no such thing, but whatever. She's talking about having responsible animal products. Again, it doesn't mean anything. But then when you go out, where are those eggs coming from? They're not coming from the next door neighbour's hens. You know, when you go out, you're eating from probably 99% of the time, it's going to be factory farms. So it's this slippery slope because people think, oh, if I do it at home and I know my source, well then when they go out, it's like, oh, well, I already eat eggs, it's only going to be one. And then before you know it, you're contributing to the entire industry that you are supposed to know as someone who has been eating a plant-based diet for so many years is horrifically bad. And so you just let one thing in and then it steamrolls. It's a slippery slope.
Yeah.
Kalal's the example. It happens with most people that go back.
Yeah. Another thing I want to talk about is Megan and Evan were saying, you know, don't judge us. You know, when you judge someone, you're really judging yourself. Yes, we should all be judging who we are eating, okay? Because there are innocent, defenseless victims at stake here. When your food choice involves a direct victim, it is no longer a personal choice, and therefore you open yourself to judgment. Also, when eating animal products is scientifically linked to 14 of our 15 leading causes of death, and we increase our risk of developing those leading causes of death when we eat animal products, what that's doing is it's potentially further burdening the healthcare system. I say healthcare because it's more disease care. that public healthcare system is taxpayer funded. That means people who have read the science and choose not to eat animal products, even if it's just for health reasons, let alone ethical ones, it's their tax dollars that are supporting that public healthcare system that you're burdening further by your food choices.
Everybody's
And
involved.
Environmentally speaking, we all share the same planet. We all breathe the same air, drink the same water, live on the same land. And when animal agriculture is one of the leading causes of polluters and destroyers of our planet, then it is everybody's business what everyone else is eating or who everyone else is eating.
Yeah.
We must exercise judgment. It's called critical thinking, and that will help the survival of our species. That's what will help us. When we collectively see that what we're doing is hurtling us towards a cliff over which, we're facing the 6th mass extinction in cosmological history, and animal agriculture is one of the driving forces.
The rhythm of life and Mother Earth.
Oh, jeez. Come on.
Everybody
Enough
judges
of this.
everybody, okay? People judge us all the time, so you're judging. Well, you're judging us for judging, right?
Again, it's necessary for the evolution of our species, because we've got a lot of problems on the face of this earth, and, saying, let's not judge each other, that's not helping.
That doesn't help anything.
That's perpetuating the problem.
And I wanted to say, if they can go online, people like Evan and Megan and so many others have, and they can make these videos justifying why they've gone back to eating animal products, they've made this public, well then of course channels like ours have a responsibility and a right to make a response saying no, that's wrong, and speaking up for the victims and responding to it.
We have a moral obligation.
That's right. They can make a video, saying, I've gone back to eating animals, and then no one's supposed to make a response.
Giving the green light to 58,000 of their viewers to go back to eating animal products if their health isn't
doesn't work
working
like
out
that.
for them.
What we have noticed, again, another consistent theme with all these ex-vegans, and I don't call them ex-vegans because I'm sorry, when you start to see animals as food, then you just didn't get it. Like, how do you look at those products again and think that is... And I think...
That's why we have that video, you're either vegan or you're not, which we're going to link in the description below, and please watch it.
We spoke about this in our response video to Kalal, is that you never see these ex-vegans talking about...
Documentary films like Earthlings, Land of Hope and Glory, Dominion, recommending that their viewers watch it, watching them themselves.
Where are they at the slaughterhouses, at the vigils? Where are they at Cubes of Truth, holding up screens and having outreach conversations? Why are they not active? Why are they not participating in the animal rights movement?
In civil disobedience and disruption.
These people seem to have this massive distance between, this is where I am in my little plant-based world, and then all of that stuff that happens to animals is way up there, and there's no interaction with it. There's no partaking in trying to stop the violence. Certainly no information given regularly to their audience, generally speaking. I'm saying consistently. And so we're just... I said this in the Kalal video, and I'm going to say it again. I kind of distrust almost anybody that doesn't have an ethics focus on their platform anymore. I don't know, we're just so
We
many
have
people...
seen it time and time. We've been on YouTube now 4.5 years, and we've met a lot of these people in real life as well.
And
we've
you
actually
just know
met
when
Evan.
it's going to happen. You can see it. Like, they give them a few years, they'll be off, and one by one, it's all happening. Where are the ethics? Because when you go to a vigil and when you stand outside of a slaughterhouse and you see those trucks come in and you look those animals in the eye and you hear them and you smell them and you touch them and you feel them and your eyes fill up with tears and it's so powerful and you feel so helpless, you don't go from that position to saying it's all peace and love and non-judgment and, we're a new family and rhythms of Mother Earth and I'm connected and it just didn't work for my body. Put yourself there. We went into a piggery recently and we saw the mothers and we saw the babies. You don't go from there to ever looking at those animals and thinking they're food. That's the problem. There is a massive lack of ethics. It's not a diet. It's not about your weight loss. It's not about cleansing. It's not about spiritual stuff. It's not about any of it. It's about the animals. And until we get that, we're going to have people continue to drop off because they just do ridiculous things to their bodies and then blame it on veganism.
And that's because speciesism, it was needed.
This is why we don't want to make these videos. Like, I feel so stressed. But what are you going to do? Not make them? And then this is out on the internet? And who speaks for the animals? Who's going to say it?
Yeah. It's because we're born into this invisible belief system of speciesism, and it is supported by every institution in our society, by our families, by our schools and education system, by the medical system, by the media, by corporations, by the government. Everybody is in this trance-like collusion to support speciesism, this discrimination against non-human animals. And we need to remove our speciesist blinders, and watching movies like Speciesism, the movie, which we'll link in the description below, Dominion, Land of Hope and Glory, Earthlings, What the Health,
and then getting
Cowspiracy,
active.
we can learn about speciesism and we can take action.
We have to keep it in the forefront of our minds and in our hearts. We have to feel their pain. We have to be in tune with that.
We have to stop being egocentric, anthropocentric, self-centered, egotistical, worried about me, myself, and I.
And again, the practicality of it is so easy, guys. We showed you. Look how much we're eating. People say to us two things in all the years that we've been on YouTube. Why are you so thin, and how can you eat so much? We're showing you why, and we're showing you how. Whole plant foods, eat abundantly. Nourish your body with the right foods.
Oh, that word it kills me though, because it's been hijacked by Sally Fallon and that Nourishing Traditions pro-paleo book. It's just
painful.
It costs people's lives, it costs the lives of non-human animals, and it destroys the environment that we all
the while.
rely
Well,
on.
this is all happening. Throat slit. Throat slit.
2,000 to 3,000 animals a second. Just think about that. We had 3,000 students in our respective colleges, so that's like the entire populations of our respective colleges wiped out every second. That's crazy.
That's why it's not a joke. It's not a game.
It's not a personal choice.
Important to respond to these things. Please, if you're struggling, reach out to people that can help you, or all of the resources, everything that we know is in the description under this video. Don't go back to animals. It just do your research first. Think about it.
We all have a moral obligation.
Yeah.
To do our research, to be fully informed, and only from that place can we make truly conscious decisions. All right.
I've got a little bit left.
Do you want me to finish that off?
No, I'm going to finish it in peace, but do you need more?
Well, it depends. If you want it, you eat it, but otherwise...
I'll share it with you.
Okay, cool. Sounds good.
And you know what we're going to top it off with? Just because we want to encourage balance, and we never want you to feel like,
You're deprived.
I'm deprived. I only have to eat, whole plant foods. And what if I have a craving for ice cream? We have got delicious, so good vegan ice cream in the freezer, and we're going to enjoy that. Okay, anything that you're craving from an animal-based product, you can find in the vegan version. So we're showing that balance. Okay.
And if you need to use those foods as transitional foods to transition away from animal products to a vegan diet, then use them. If you need to continue eating them in order to remain vegan, do it.
Do what you have to do to make sure that those beautiful, innocent beings are not brutally murdered in that slaughterhouse, irrespective of what farm they come from, irrespective of what we feed them. Please.
Because I was just going to say, everyone is against animal abuse. True?
Yeah.
Everyone is against animal abuse. But no one thinks they're actually paying for animal abuse. But if you consider that animals are innocent and defenseless, and that we have to overpower them in order to take their lives because they don't want to die, that is an abuse of our power over them.
Yeah.
So therefore, it is animal abuse.
Yeah.
Yeah? So
makes sense. Yeah. All right. That's enough. Done?
Yeah.
That's our response.
Animals are not ours to eat, wear, use.
No. Please leave your comments for us down below. What do you think about all of this? Share your experience if you've struggled with anything. What helped you get back on track?
Check out all the links in the description below.
Yeah. And share this video with people in your life that may be struggling, that may be in the same position as Evan and Megan. That's it, guys. Please share, comment, like, subscribe. You know the deal.
And remember until next time that going vegan is not the most we can do.
It's the least we can do. See you next video.
Bye, everyone.